Because love doesn't exist. Episode 42. Despite Ijun's objections, wedding plans proceeded. And the day our two families met arrived. It was an informal meeting held in a quiet and empty restaurant that was rented out. The discussion of marriage was held in a relatively calm and pleasant atmosphere. There's something I've been meaning to bring up.
Yes, go on.
For Ijun, who's still in the hospital, is it okay if we keep the size of the marriage small and quiet?
Well, I understand where you're coming from, Siyeon. But this is a marriage of the Jong family. We cannot have a wedding that goes under the radar. I hope you two understand as well.
We do.
Ijun, you too.
Yes, sir.
On the way home, my parents expressed their worries about how Ijun was very quiet during their meeting. Don't worry. He's a reserved person.
Okay. If you say so.
When I saw how much Ijun's parents and his grandfather cared about you, I couldn't help but be relieved.
I agree. They're wonderful people.
I worried so much before the meeting, but it was nice to see how satisfied my parents were with how things ended.
Siyeon. Be happy. To find happiness in a loveless marriage with Ijun.
To find happiness in a loveless marriage with Ijun. I will. Preparations for the wedding proceeded quickly soon after the meeting. We were to live in a neighborhood that was close to the headquarters of Midnight Sun Foods. Nearly everything, including the furniture and other electronics, was already installed and waiting for us. All that was left was for us to move in. Ijun's father asked a famous designer to make my wedding dress. It was the middle of winter as the new year came. And I turned 27 amidst the hectic wedding preparations. And just when the cold couldn't get any worse, the day of my wedding arrived.
The groom is late. Sheesh. I'm the one getting anxious when the bride is so calm.
I may have looked calm in Yunkyong's eyes, but my hands were quivering ever so slightly under the bouquet. The truth was, Ijun wasn't late to the wedding. He had run away. Sensing that something was wrong, Ijun's parents belatedly started to look for him through their connections. I can't do anything but wait right now.
Siyeon.
Yang Uni.
They found the groom.
Really? Where did they find him?
They barely caught him at the airport. He was on the verge of taking off. I can't believe he was trying to leave the country without letting his family know.
What in the world is up with him? So are they bringing him here?
Yeah. The groom's father is furious. He threatened to bring him here by force if he had to. A security team was sent to pick him up, so I'm sure he'll show up.
But it'll take at least an hour and a half to come here from the airport. What about the wedding?
They're going to delay the wedding by 2 hours, by saying something inevitable came up. They're going to serve the guests lunch first. Will the guests just accept that?
Of course they will. It's the wedding of the Midnight Sun, Food's youngest son. And I overheard some guests on the groom's side whispering among themselves that this was actually the wedding of the eldest son. That was why the wedding was so fancy and huge despite the eldest son still lying in the hospital. The main hall is already packed with people from the Jong family.
Yang Yuni is right. Even though there's a patient in the family, grandfather wanted the wedding to be big and extravagant. And he wanted the people who received the invitations to bless the future of the bride and groom. I know. Grandfather did all this for me. When I'd be an obvious eyesore to the other members of the Jong family, he wanted me to hold my head high despite not being the great-granddaughter of the great Donghan Kim. And even though there was an uproar among relatives when they found out I was the one Ijun was marrying, they couldn't actually say anything in the face of grandfather's firm decision.
I'm not going against my forefather's promise, as the eldest son, Wigyan, technically already has the real great-granddaughter of the great Donghan Kim by his side. I won't put off Ijun's wedding as we wait for Gwigyan to wake up any longer.
I heard the people who were first opposed to the wedding slowly accepted it. Unless a miracle happened and Gwigyan woke up, everyone knew Ijun had to someday take the place as the eldest son of the Jong family.
But why would Ijun do such a thing? Maybe there's someone else? Why would he go so far on the day of his own wedding?
Don't be absurd. Siyeon, men can also get cold feet before a wedding. I'm sure he acted on impulse because he was nervous. Don't be upset, okay?
Okay. But I never imagined he would try to flee the country on the day of the wedding no matter how much he didn't want this to happen. Oh, can you see how my parents are doing? I suspect they must be very surprised with everything going on.
Okay. Don't worry, I'll go see them right away.
Siyeon, try not to worry too much. Huh?
Siyeon, do you have a minute?
Mr. Jong.
Siyeon, I'm going to go check on the hall.
Okay. I'll see you later. How is grandfather doing?
Don't worry. His doctor is constantly checking him. I told the guests that Ijun was in a fender bender on the way here. That's also what I told the other members of the family, so if they find out the truth in the future, please try to ease it into them so they aren't too shocked.
Okay, I will. Thank you. I could hear the exhaustion in his voice.
Siyeon, I'm so sorry.
Mr. Jong.
I don't know how I should go about apologizing to you.
Though it was his son's wedding, he was tense and worried, when he should be laughing and celebrating. Ijun Appa.
You're excused. Good work. Make sure the ceremony can start in 40 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Ijun, you. Explain yourself.
I can't, sir.
I told our guests that you were in a minor accident, which was why the wedding had to be delayed. So unless you want this day to be the day of your grandfather's funeral, You better not do anything else to make the situation worse.
It was the first time I've ever seen Mr. Jong get so mad.
I've told you time and time again, but you're the one who ignored it.
And I've also told you countless times not to use Gwihyun as an excuse. I know he's your brother, but he's my son. What you and I feel are two different things. Ijun. What you did today to your wife. You are going to make it up to her for the rest of your life.